Prepare the candidate. The assessor shall introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Justami Gabrunino and I'm your Competency Assessor for Plumbing Institute.
Acknowledge the presence of the TESDA representative, Assessment Center Manager, and Processing Officer.
And I would like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Jackie Chan, our Processing Officer, Mr. Bruce Lee, our AC Manager, and Mr. Andrew Lee, our representative from TESDA Provincial Office. Good morning, gentlemen. You didn't have to worry about their presence because they're only here to oversee the conduct of assessment and to check the conduct of assessment is in accordance with the prescribed competency assessment, methodology, and procedure.
Check attendance and identity of candidates and collect admission slips.
But before we start, please submit your admission slip.
Instruct the candidates to sign on the attendance sheet.
As I call your name, please acknowledge by raising your hand and sign the attendance sheet. Mr. Jitli, Mr. Hanamichi Sakuragi, please sign.
Present to the candidates an accomplished application form with self-assessment guide and explain its significance.
I have here with me the accomplished application form and self-assessment guide. This is an indication that you know and you can perform all the unit of competency enumerated for the Plumbing Institute.
Conduct orientation to the candidates. The assessor must explain the context and purpose of the assessment.
I would like to welcome you all to our center for your assessment for Plumbing Institute. The purpose of our assessment for Plumbing Institute is to determine the level of your competency.
Qualifications or units of competency to be assessed.
Today, I'm going to administer competency assessment for Plumbing Institute. The qualification for Plumbing Institute composed of basic, common, and core competency. For our core competencies, we do have first, prepare estimation of materials for multiple plumbing units and perform multiple plumbing units installation and assembles. And the third is conduct pipe leak testing.
Tasks to be performed and the evidence to be collected.
The different tasks to be performed for our Plumbing Institute assessment are the following. First, prepare materials for drainage, sanitary, water line, layout work. Second, install pipes and fittings for drainage and sanitary water line layout work. And the third is install building drains, sewing, and ventilation. We will collect evidences through demonstrations, oral questionings, and written tests.
Assessment procedures to be undertaken.
To determine your knowledge and skills for Plumbing Institute, the assessment method we will use will be written test, demonstration, and oral questioning. These assessment methods can help to measure your underpinning knowledge and skills.
Needs of the candidates to be considered during the assessment.
For personal needs, the lavatory is located at the first floor of our building. You can also take your meal at the canteen. It is located at the lobby. However, during the assessment, you are not allowed to leave the premises of the assessment center.
Allowable or reasonable adjustments when applicable.
If you have difficulties understanding for the given instructions, please do not hesitate to inform me because we are willing to translate it for you. Also, during the written examination, if you have dilemmas writing down your answers, don't be shy because we cannot see your answer verbally.
Do's and don'ts during the assessment.
If you have concerns, questions, or there is need for you to clarify matters concerning the assessment, you may raise your hands because I am more than willing to assist you. But once the assessment have started, please refrain from asking questions. It is no longer allowed. In the same token, during the assessment, if you have physical or any form of difficulties, do not hesitate to call my attention so that we can address it immediately.
Rights and appeal system.
In case you have any questions regarding the assessment result, you have the right to appeal. You can submit your appeal to the TESDA Provincial Office for the Assessment Center and the assessor are accredited.
Issuance of national certificate or certificate of competency.
For the issuance of national certificate, the AC manager shall inform you where you can claim your national certificate within 5 working days after the assessment.
Reassessment procedures.
After the assessment and you are found to be not yet competent, don't worry about it because we can do rate access anytime at your own convenience. In case the reassessment is full qualification, it had undergo the whole assessment process. If you are found to be competent in some unit of competencies, the reassessment shall focus in the unit of competencies where you were found to be not yet competent. Also, if you fail 2 consecutive assessments, you will be advised to undergo a refresher course before applying the reassessment.
Occupational safety and health requirements.
During the actual assessment, please observe safety as you perform the different tasks. Make sure you check all of your plumbing equipment before doing it. Avoid pulling the cord as you unplug the equipment. Observe proper body mechanics in lifting heavy equipments to avoid back injuries. In case of accident, please call my attention immediately so that we can provide you with first aid and should the need arise. Our first aid cabinet is located at the right side of the door.
And confidentiality of assessment outcome.
With regards to the result of your assessment, we observe strict confidentiality. This is to ensure your integrity. The result is only made available to the authorized personnel and to the institution where you had your actual training. In relation to this, the assessment package is kept in a secured place to guarantee the integrity of the assessment package. In giving above, may I ask all candidates to refrain from giving away any form or informations that take place during the assessment process.
Provide each candidate a copy of the specific instruction to the candidate.
If you don't have any questions or clarifications, then I'm going to distribute these specific instructions, and please read it carefully and do not hesitate to ask questions right now. I may be able to translate it from English to your local dialect. If you need assessment, then I will be more than willing to assist you.
The assessor explains and guides the candidates in interpreting the instruction and shall ensure that the candidates understand the contents of the instruction. After the demonstration, the candidate will be asked a series of questions based on her performance during the bed making for the oral questioning. The candidate number 1 is able to answer all the questions asked by the assessor. The candidate number 2 will also be able to answer the questions, though some of her answers are incorrect. Record and rating sheet details of evidence collected and judgment made about the candidate's performance. Provide feedback on the assessment. The assessor must provide candidate about the outcomes of the assessment process. For positive feedback, competent.
Please sit down, candidate number 1. Can you, sir? How do you feel about the assessment?
Sir, I am confident that I was able to perform well during the demonstration, even if I had a hard time with the written test and oral questioning.
Summarize the performance of the candidate during the whole assessment process.
My observation coincide your opinion. You are in deep competent in performing the different skill of plumbing institute.
Inform the candidate on areas she needs to improve on.
However, I have noticed that you did not observe proper body mechanics while thus furthermore, you are not confident in answering the question during the oral questioning.
Discuss the specific tasks done well by the candidate.
Nevertheless, you were able to answer all questions correctly, and the result of written test showed that you are knowledgeable enough about plumbing institute. Found out that you are already competent. Please sign this competency assessment result summary. For the issuance of national certificate, the EC manager shall inform you where to claim your national certificate after 5 days. In this regard, I would like to say congratulations.
In providing negative feedback, it is recommended that you carry out the following recommendations. Be positive without raising any
Please
false
sit down, candidate
expectation.
number 2. Thank you. How do you feel about the assessment?
I feel nervous because I forgot the procedure in the drainage installation system, and I almost passed out during the assessment.
Identify whether any part or parts of the assessment needs to be repeated, and if so, which parts.
Really? In that manner, what will you do if you're asked to demonstrate the drainage installation system again?
I will try my best to control my fears and focus to the task being asked.
Suggest further learning or practice to fix the gaps.
So, what did you learn from this session?
I have learned that I should review the knowledge and skill for me to become a confident. And also, I will change my negative attitude towards learning, and I will try to focus and practice.
Emphasize and explain the results. Which competency has been and has not been achieved?
Mr. Mero, you are able to identify the different tools and equipment used in installation of drainage system. Actually, you are very good of doing it. Based on the result of the observation of demonstration, the outcome of the assessment is that you are not yet competent. However, you can be reassessed anytime at your convenience.
Provide information on the appeal system and reassessment process.
Mr. Mero, if you have doubts regarding the assessment result, you have the right to appeal. You can submit your appeal to TESDA Provincial Office or the Assessment Center, and assessor are accredited. Would you please sign the competency assessment result summary? Do you have any questions, Mr. Mero?
No, sir, I don't have any further question.
Thank you very much.
Record and report the result. The assessor shall record the assessment outcome. Ensure rating sheets are signed by the candidate after providing feedback. Accomplish the competency assessment result summary. Submit to the assessment center manager assessment reports. The assessment center manager will give the documents to the processing officer to accomplish the Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified. Signed Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified. After accomplishing the Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified, the processing officer will ask the assessor and assessment center manager to sign before passing it on together with the other documents to the TESDA representative. The TESDA representative will then deliver the documents to the designated TESDA office.